So are you saying that Suge's in prison today because he didn't get out of the truck at Tams, and that Terry Carter's dead also because of that?
Sugar's in jail doing time off 28 because he was a coward. All these things you hear about happen with Suge, it's because Suge was there with 50 people. I could put a midget, the most. I can take Lemmy Plummer and put it with 50 thugs, and he could run around here and claim he did all kind of shit. Shout out to Zeus, right? But let's be real, world. I'm tired of y'all when it comes to everybody else. Y'all try to run narratives with no facts, but when all the facts are there, everybody act like they don't see them. Even Stevie Wonder could see, Suge, you're in jail because you were scared to fight one man. One man. Maybe they need to podcast that with Dave Mays.
Yeah.
Do you think he's capable of doing an honest podcast, or do you think it'll always kind of be extras on?
It's always gonna be extras. He's running out of shit to talk about. Let's be real, brother. Ain't a whole lot he can talk about. Death Row was like a 4 or 5 year thing. 92, 97.
Yeah.
And 92 is just getting going. 93 is moving. 96, Pac's dead. 97, I believe Snoop might have released his last one. The Last Meal, something like that. And Snoop meant that shit. That's why it was called that. It's the last time you're gonna eat off me, right? And shout out to Master P for doing that, for opening up doors and putting Snoop in the proper position and seat. Because without that happening, we wouldn't have the mogul and the legend we have today in Snoop, which is a representation of hip hop overall, but more than that, the West Coast. When he came home, everything was a failure. Crooked Eye was on fire. Mm-hmm. But Suge's so fucking stupid and stubborn, he's telling everybody, I can't put music out, I don't have distribution. Yeah. It wasn't that he didn't have distribution. You just sold 50% of your catalog to Koch, where you get 5% of all urban acts that come through there. Mm-hmm. Terms that was negotiated by Mr. Reggie Wright. So you have distribution, but it's independent distribution. But let me tell you where he's slow at. Suge could have been one of the first ones out the gate with a label like that, under a indie distro, making more money, doing less numbers, but a bigger percentage of the cut, and he'd have been ahead of everybody, right? But he wanted back in the UMG. F that, y'all gonna let me back in. Y'all gonna let me back in. But what he's not understanding is the powers that be, Jimmy Iovines, the Dr. Dre, who was 10 times what you are at this time, they ain't letting you back in. And instead of going to get the oatmeal, Suge, being a bad leader, chose no meal and didn't send his music through Koch. They dropped one project, I believe it was a Dysfunctional Family soundtrack. They did nothing. Petey Pablo came over there for management. Suge Knight took some money from the label as if he was gonna apply it to Petey, and went and bought a fucking Range Rover. This is facts, right? That's why they kind of like fell out. But at the end of the day, it's like Suge is not relevant, has not been relevant to music in the period of 22 years. And he doesn't even understand the distribution of music. He doesn't even understand the whole digital realm of music. He has never released an album in this digital world we're in. Yeah. This is facts. Now, we give you your run in what you did, but you're not Birdman. You understand what I'm saying? You're not those people who went through this phase of it, warped to this phase of it, went through this change of it, went through this twist and turn, and continued to reinvent and continue to be successful. We're gonna give you your little block. give you a little block of the things you did, but you couldn't sustain or you could not maintain those things you did to a point to where you don't even own your catalog. There's nothing about your body of work that you get paid for today. There's nothing about it, right? And that's why when I hear this, I'm suing Snoop, Death Row, because how the deal was done. You ready to do a little math?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, math's my favorite subject, right? Okay, Death Row as a whole. Sale number 1, Koch, 50%, right? Second sale by default, right? Feds take it. Lydia Harris, whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Third sale, auction to a little old Canadian lady.
Yep.
Okay, so by the third sale, Koch owns half, which is a Canadian-based company, and a little old Canadian lady owns the other half. Fourth sale, Canadian lady sells to Koch. Now Koch owns the whole Death Row catalog. Fifth sale, Koch sells to E1. Sixth sale, E1 sells to Hasbro, right? Hasbro doesn't give a f about the music. Hasbro wanted the cartoon Peppa Pig, which E1 owned. So they had to buy it in its entirety, sit on it for a while, and then seventh sale, Hasbro sells the music division to Monarch. Eighth sale, Monarch to Snoop Doggy Motherfucking Dog. So before you sue Snoop, and this is where these people in this world, there's 70% of the world that are sheep and don't understand business. Before you can sue Snoop, the eighth guy, to say it was illegal transaction done with the Death Row catalog, wouldn't you have to go through the other 7 transactions? Knock it off. See, this is what you get when you playing with, see, right now y'all talking to Cass Jones. See, Wack100 is an entertainment name. The other Wack, he's a street guy. He protects Wack100 and Cass Jones. This is the breakdown of it. But he says shit so people can say, oh, Suge gonna get it back. Why, when you were on the streets from 03 to 2015 to 16, there was never a conversation of Suge is suing Koch, Suge is suing E1, Suge. Why wasn't the conversation there? Because for it to get to Snoop on the 8th sale, that means whatever happened wrong already was happening.
Yeah.
You're a liar. You're not relevant. And the conversation of today, a lot of the little guys that you may have bullied and talked down on are big guys. The guy that you took everything from, walked out with nothing, Dr. Dre, and added to what we know as hip hop, 50 Cent, Eminem, The Firm, Dre Beats, and a host of other things, and it's still going on. Right? This is what it is. So when you put Suge with his peers, let's not put Suge with the guy over here, let's put Suge with his peers.
Yeah.
Let's put you with Birdman. Let's put you with Irv Gotti, right? Let's put you with Puffy. You know, he's going through what he's going through, but let's put you with your peers.
Yeah.
You've been checked out the game.
I remember Reggie saying in older interviews that it was like a 70%, 30% distribution deal with Koch, but that's I mean, that's if you're getting nitpicky.
We're talking 02, 03. So we had distribution. It was just an indie. He chose not to put out Crooked Eye. And Crooked Eye, undisputably, was one of the hardest West Coast motherfuckers back then. He was an animal.
Yeah.
He held up that man's career because of his own stubbornness and ego and selfishness, because he didn't want to use the distribution that was in front of him that would have been huge. You realize how far ahead of the game he would have been? He would have been Ghazi on steroids. And then when people talk this shit, we give Death Row what they give it, but the biggest independent label ever released on the West Coast is Empire. That's a fact. You can't even hold that no more. Longevity was success. There was no longevity in it. It was ignorance. He was a bad leader. You know, it was all about, look at me, right? And when they look at you, all he did was throw the pickup truck in reverse and drive and run from the fight. Stop talking this tough shit. You got the Donovan State Penitentiary, you PC'd up. P-Funk is talking to me. You embarrassed the card. Wack, what's up with dude? What's happening? He went to classification. He said he didn't want to hit the line. He go to the PC yard. You get on here and you doing all this talking and all this, but bro, that ain't what you are. That ain't what it is. Act your fucking age. You got a son running around here. You know what, Reggie? I'm not going to talk about that. But you have kids running around here. Help guide them. You know why he don't help guide them? Because he can't. He's a dinosaur. It's like a shade tree mechanic telling you how to soup up a LS motor. It's like a shade tree mechanic talking about, I can't get it to idle right because he don't understand the technology of the fucking brain of the computer and plugging into it, right? Everything is different, right? The QCPs, the Wack100s, the people that's in this game right now still shaking and baking. The Birdmans who warped through this shit 30 plus years. Those are people that understand this business. I want to see him do a podcast and break down the business of the day. I challenge him to that. Break down the business of the day on how it works, how streaming works, how YouTube works, how this, how that works, how TikToks work, what's the money generated, what's the strategy to doing this shit. He can't. And that's cool, but stop perpetrating the fraud and stop fronting.